Thank you. Comsec, could you please also administer the oath to our resource persons who are here for the first time?
May I request those who have not taken their oath during our last hearing to please stand up. Raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Comsec, including our good police colonel online, I
Yes.
think.
Okay. I, please state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to this investigation. Thank you. You may now take your seat.
Thank you, Comsec, and thank you, resource persons. Kung pwede pong makapagtanong una sa PAOK, since kayo po yung nag-conduct nung raid doon sa Bamban, could you please give the committee a short presentation of your key findings in that raid? So the chair acknowledges Dr. Casio.
We prepared a PowerPoint presentation that we gave to the committee earlier on. May I
Could
ask
we just
you
know
to
how many
flash?
minutes long it is?
I could probably do it in 5 minutes, ma'am. I'll just skip
Please proceed.
I'll just skip through the most important parts.
Please proceed.
Could we go through the PowerPoint, please? Let us skip the first 2 slides, please. 3 slides. Skip that one. So that's the compound. Okay. So, ma'am, can we proceed to the next slide? Basically, Sunyu 1, as per the documents we obtained from PAGCOR, is only licensed to operate in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors of that building, A1 building, the admin building of Bauco compound. But we were able to obtain a warrant for the entire compound, 36 buildings, and thankfully we were able to do that because in our raid we were able to find that the actual scamming activities were found in 2 other areas that were not declared under the PAGCOR license. But let me state, Madam Chair, Mr. Senator, that even in the licensed POGO, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors, initial investigation indicates that there are also scamming activities in that legitimate POGO.
And just about your first 3 slides, Dr. Casio, even from the air, ang laki niyang tignan. What is the area of that whole compound?
I could not recall on the top of my head, but there are 36 buildings thereabouts, ma'am. So I could imagine it could be a few hectares.
So we will ask perhaps another national government agency later kung ganong kalaki ang mukhang malaking compound na yan. Please proceed, Doctor.
Could we proceed to the next slide, please? So that particular area houses the condominium units where our deponent, our witness was able to escape from. Can we proceed to the next slide, please?
That was a Filipino witness?
No, ma'am, that was the Vietnamese witness.
All right.
Then these are the villas that was stated earlier on by the good Senator Gatchalian. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, he is correct. There would be around 14 villas thereabouts, and 3 of the villas are interconnected by tunnels. And there is a large, I would say, Olympic-sized swimming pool therein. And under one of the villa, in the most sophisticated villa, would be a multi-million peso worth of a wine cellar. We had the cellar inventoried and we closed it to ensure that it would not be pilfered.
Bakit may tunnels? Bakit kailangan ng tunnels sa villas?
In our initial investigation, ma'am, we found that there is an actual panic room. So it is for that reason that during the initial serving of the warrant, the people who were inhabiting that particular villas were not found by our police officers because they were hiding in the panic room.
So yun yung purpose ng panic room.
Yes, ma'am. Thankfully for us, since we stayed there for a few days up until the 3rd day to conduct the investigation and to do the wrap-up, we were able to find 4 Chinese nationals in that area. Unfortunately, that was already a second search, so we could not include them in the inquest. Otherwise, that would be a second serving of the warrant.
Pero itong 4 na Chinese nationals, nung una, doon nagtago sa panic room.
Opo.
But later, nung lumabas sila,
Opo.
doon nyo sila nadakip.
Opo. Can we proceed, please? Ito po yung incidente that led to the application of the warrant. This is the video that we prepared. This is Mr. Tan Minh Duc. He's a Vietnamese national. Can we play the video, please?
Please note, sandali po, please move back to the previous slide. Paki-suspend muna yung pag-play ng video. No, sorry, just before the video. Sige, paki-note lang po yung mga kaibigan natin sa media, yung request ng PAOK na this is not for, ito po, strictly forbidden to share or broadcast this video for public viewing under any circumstances dahil ongoing pa yung investigation ng PAOK. Okay, please proceed, Doctor.
So this is Danny. His English name is Danny. So tumakas po siya actually noong February 25. Tumalon po siya doon sa condominium area and he was able to go through a river bed. Tumulay po siya sa riverbed and he was documenting the entire experience. Hinahabol po siya ng hindi bababang 8 security guards from the Baofu compound.
Paano alam na galing sila sa Baofu, yung guards?
Nagkilala po sila that they were from Zone U1. Kasi po, nakatakas po si Mr. Danny into an adjacent compound, a farm owned by a Filipino-American American Air Force retiree. And they were trying to force that individual to hand over Danny. And thankfully, he did not. Then, the following day...
Itong guard naka-uniform pa, no?
Yes,
Doctor?
Yes, Your Honor. Then, we got a call on the 26th of February from a pastor who was a friend of that Filipino-American national. And he informed us of the presence of Mr. Duc Danny. I arrived at the compound on the 28th of February to retrieve Mr. Duc, and I brought him to Manila where we kept him in our safe house. Okay. Mr. Danny intimated to us that he was being asked to sign an affidavit of undertaking that he was not armed, that he left the compound at his own volition.
Sinong nagpapapirma sa kanya ng ganyang affidavit?
He intimated to us that certain police officers were asking him to sign the said document.
Uniformed police officers?
According to Mr. Duc.
We'll ask that
But
to the
when we
PNP.
arrived at the area, no said police officers were present. Only Mr. Duc and the Filipino American national was there. Let us continue, please. Likewise, we were able to get hold of a plane ticket. He was being forced to leave the Philippines on February 27 or 28, a paid Cebu Pacific ticket.
Galing po kanino yung ticket?
Apparently, according to Mr. Duc, it came from Zone U1. Ito po yun. Then on March 1, the commission likewise received a request from the Malaysian embassy of another national who was being held against his will inside Zone U1. The letter was addressed initially to our executive director, then later on addressed to our chairman, the executive secretary. Ito po yun. That's the actual letter that was given, a request for assistance by the Malaysian embassy.
So aware po yung embassy ng Malaysia dito sa Pilipinas, dito sa Bamban Pogo Hub?
Yes, Madam Chair. So by March 1, the Vietnamese embassy and the Malaysian embassy were already requesting the assistance for their 2 nationals, ma'am. This is the Malaysian national. He is now standing as a witness. He is being kept on safeguard. Can we proceed, please? So, these are some of the pictures that were sent by the Malaysian national to his embassy that served as our basis to apply for the warrant, ma'am. Let us proceed na po doon sa slides. So nakuha nga po tayo ng warrant as this is public knowledge by now. So if we may proceed to the next slides because there are some other important issues that may not have been seen by our Madam Chair. So ito nga po yung mention ni Senator Gatchalian. The Chinese embassy informed us that in that particular Zone U1 technology are 6 fugitives from their territory. Can we proceed, please? Okay. And another Taiwanese national who is also a fugitive from the Republic of China. So bali ito po ang fugitive sa loob ng Zone 1. Incidentally, doon din po sa Smart Web Technology, meron din po tayo mga fugitives. Doon din po sa iba pang mga nakikita natin, parang common thread po siya. Can we proceed please? Ito po yung actual scam sites. So yung una, yung malaking kahon, kung mapapansin ninyo po pag pumunta kayo ng Bamban, yan po ay parang warehouse lang. Tambakan ng mga gamit ng pang-construction. Pero pag pinasok po ninyo yung kaloob-looban, nandun po yung actual scamming na itinuro ng ating Malaysian witness. Yung maliit naman pong building na yon, sa baba po niyan ay may grocery po dyan at yung second and third floor po niyan, yung actual scam site ng ating Vietnamese witness. Can we proceed?
Kaya dun siya nakatakas sa likod
Yes,
kasi
ma'am.
katabi nung place
Opo.
of work niya.
Yes, ma'am. Ito po yung actual na nakita nating scam site. Let us proceed po. May mga script po ng mga scamming. And the usual that we see in almost all of the raided POGOs. Multiple rows of Androids and iPhones that seems to be receptacles receiving cellphones ng kung anumang scamming activities nila. Can we proceed please? Patuloy po, yan po yung mga nakikita natin. Those are actual videos of Bamban. Ito na po, thank you. Let us proceed po. Ito na yung actual cases that we're able to file. So we filed human trafficking and serious illegal detention cases po against 8 nationals including 1 Filipino national. Next slide po. Ito pong foreign nationals po na natuluyan po ang kanilang kaso with the exception of Miss Milo, yung Filipino national for further investigation po sa kakulangan ng ebidensya. Tuloy po natin. At inamenda po natin yung information to include criminal forfeiture doon sa kasong sinampa natin sa Kapas. Let us proceed please. Sa ngayon po ay merong preservation order in the eventuality that the Anti-Money Laundering Council actually files the civil forfeiture case against Zone 1 and the other vehicles and all other valuables that we were able to find in the compound. And on March 3, nag-grant po yung motion to break open natin at ito po yung nakita natin. Next slide please. Yan yung actual na pagbe-break open. Nasa next slide po yung mga nakuha natin, yung inventaryo. So, 7.3 million and so on and so forth. Palagi na po namin nakikita na yung mga passports ay nakatago sa mga vaults. Tapos yung vaults, yung mga passports po na nakita ay hindi nakita doon sa area ng Zone 1 sa working area, kundi nakita doon sa mga villa. Sa mga personal villas ng mga bosses, ng mga managers. Let us proceed, please.
Anong tools ang ginagamit dyan sa video? Anong ginamit para buksan yung vaults?
Acetylene po, Madam Chair.
Acetylene,
Yes, ma'am.
torches.
Yes. Grinder po sana dapat. Kaya lang
Grinder ay mas high-tech?
po, no ma'am, mas effective.
Effective.
Ang acetylene po, delikado. In fact, may nasunog pong isang bolt dyan.
So bakit hindi grinder ginamit nyo? Bakit itong
Ah,
torch?
Nakakalungkot na nung araw nung pagbubukas ng mga bolts, lahat po ng mga grinders na itinabi namin at dapat naming gamitin ay nagkawalaan sa bayan ng Bamban. Maging yung mga taong aming unang nakausap na siya mag-ooperate ng mga grinders ay hindi na po namin mahagilap.
What do you mean, Doctor, nawala sa bayan ng Bamban? At sino yung mga taong yun at saan sila pumunta?
Di umano, they were attending a seminar.
What seminar?
Hindi na ho namin masyadong natanong yung mga detalye, nagtaka lang kami na lahat sila nagkawalaan. They became conveniently they excused themselves to our inconvenience.
Pero mga private citizens ba sila? Ano ba
Halo-halo
sila
po. Halo-halo po.
base? Oo.
Mga taga-bayan po sila ng Pamban nung initially po kasi may isang weekend, may isang Biyernes na dapat po sila ay gagawin namin yung break open. Unfortunately, hindi ho nabuo yung team namin. So we had to postpone it to another Monday. So, okay na po yung usapan. On the next Monday, they would make themselves available. But when we arrived in Bamban in the early morning of that Monday, they were not available and we were informed that the grinders were nowhere to be found and the persons who were supposed to operate were supposed to be attending a seminar. Who sponsored the seminar? We are unaware who. Medyo nakakalungkot lang na nahirapan ho kami. Inabot na kami ng almost 10, 11 o'clock para mahanap yung mga acetylene.
Anong seminar yun?
Ang di umano, ang sabi lang sa amin, allegedly, LGU sponsored daw po yung seminar.
Okay,
Alleged.
so tatanong din
But
natin
we had
mamaya.
no opportunity to verify yung sinabing yun sa amin ng mga taong aming pinakaisapan.
At LGU din ba yung may-ari ng grinders?
Hindi hot. Ang mga grinders po na yon ay itinabi po namin doon sa compound ng Zunyu 1. So,
Paano po nawala?
that is a very good question, Your Honor.
Alright, please proceed.
So, yung custody naman po ng compound at lahat ng mga valuables na nandun sa loob ay pinagkaloob sa pansamantalang kustodiyan ng komisyon noong April 5 with the court order by the Honorable Judge Hermenegildo Dumlao, Branch 81 of Malolos RTC. So pinangangalagaan po namin yan. Kami po ay nagsagawa ng inventaryo kasama po ang AMLs at iba pang mga ahensya. Kami din po ay isinara na namin yung compound na ang aming pakiusap ay wala na makakapasok doon kahit sino nang walang pahintulot ng komisyon sapagkat nasa amin po ang responsibilidad na mapangalagaan ang integridad noong compound na ito. Next po. On April 5 din po, gawa ng merong mga dokumento tayo nakita na di umano ay may koneksyon ang kasalukuyang local chief executive ng Bamban sa operasyon ng Zunyu 1 at yung dating operasyon ng Hongsheng, ang ating SILG ay nagtalaga ng isang task force kung ano nga ba ang pananagutan kung meron man ang naturang chief executive ng Bamban. Next po. Ito po yung kasalukuyang isinasagawa pa namin. Marami ho kaming nakita mga nakakalungkot na mga bagay-bagay sapagkat itong mga korporasyon po na ito po ay mga kanseladong mga pogo. Pero sa aming document examination, exploitation sa loob ng Zunyu 1, napakarami hong dokumento nagpapatunay na sila ay patuloy na nag-operate sa loob ng Baofu despite the fact that they were cancelled. Katulad po yung number 4, Skycall. Kung hindi kami nagkakamali, yan po'y kanselado ng PAGCOR as early as 2020 or 2021, no? But despite their cancellation, so many documents including telephone bills in the name of Skycall were found in Baofu dating up until 2023. So kung meron kang telephone bill up until 2023, your guess is as good as mine. Yung mga sasakyan din po ng Skycall, mayroon po tayong 6 na natagpuan sa loob ng Baofu. Kung hindi po sila nag-exist, kung sila po ay nag-cease ng operation, nag-cancela ng operasyon, bakit yung kanilang 6 na sasakyan ay nasa loob ng Baofu compound nung na-raid po natin? Next slide po. So,
Patanong lang, Doctor,
Yes.
dahil nabanggit nyo na yung mga sasakyan. So, gaya ng nabanggit nyo, may several vehicles registered sa pangalan ng Skycall Technologies na hanap sa loob ng Baofu compound ng raid ninyo. So, well, batay sa research no, ano ba yung relasyon ng Skycall Technologies at saka Baofu?
At this point, we have nothing definite yet. But what we could say at this point is doon nila inilalagak yung kanilang mga sasakyan. So pwedeng napaka-social naman po ng kanilang parking area. Nasa mga villas po yung parking areas ng Skycall.
Please proceed.
Yes, ma'am. So, ito nga po, dito ay medyo malaliman ang aming investigasyon sapagkat nakita po namin ito na mayroong koneksyon di umano ang kasalukuyang alkalde ng Bamban, si Mayor Guo, sapagkat nung 2020, nung siya po ay pribadong mamamayan pa lamang, she was the one who applied for the letter of no objection doon sa sangguniang bayan ng Bamban for 10 Hongsheng. May mga dokumento ho tayong nakita kasalukuyang bahagi ng aming investigasyon na sa kabila ng pagkansela nung Hongsheng nung Pebrero nung nakaraang taon sapagkat na-raid po sila ng CIDG Central Luzon nung Pebrero nung 2023, patuloy po siyang nag-ooperate. In fact, may mga dokumento kaming nakita nakapangalan sa Hongsheng na sinisingil pa po siya ng kanilang mga PLDT, ng kanilang mga smart bills and so on and so forth up until November of 2023. Kung ikaw ay nakansilan noong Pebrero, bakit patuloy ka nag-ooperate hanggang nagbabayad ng mga bills up until 2023 November?
Sino pong sinisingil? Hongsheng as a company o particular na tao?
Si Mr. Walter Wong Long, nakapangalan sa kanya Hongsheng Gaming Corporation. Tuloy po natin. So ayan nga po, no? Some of the documents that we found are in the name of these companies po. Napakarami ho nating dokumento. Kahong-kahong dokumento po ang nakuha natin na bahagi ngayon ng ebidensya na magdidiin sa ilang mga korporasyon na di umano'y mga kanselado na. Pero bakit marami pa silang mga dokumento at mga utilities na sinisingil up until 2023 sa loob ng BAUKU. Next po. So ito po yung ito po yung nakuha nating Certificate of Registration sa SEC ng BAUKU ng Hongsheng Gaming tsaka ng BAUKU Land Development. Next po. Pero pagdating po noong 2022, ayon nga po sa pahayag ng ating mayora, nag-divest na daw di umano siya doon sa mga korporasyon na nabanggit diyan. Kaya sa government information sheet po nila ng 2022, hindi na po natin makita ang pangalan ng butihing mayora diyan sa kanilang korporasyon na yan. Tuloy po. Pero up until June 2022 po meron pa pong nakita kami mga dokumento ng paniningil sa nagngangalang isang Miss Alice Lial Guo na di umanong kumakatawan sa BAUKU Land Development Corporation. Sinisingil po siya ng Arison. If I'm not mistaken, this is for housekeeping or maintenance company. Next po.
So di umano ay nag-divest na sila mula dun sa kumpanya pero nagbabayad pa rin ng ilang mga billings
Yes, ma'am.
ng kumpanyang iyon din.
Yes, Madam Chair. So ito po ang aming ikinagulat sapagkat noong 14th of March, kami po ay inabutan ng Tarelco ng isang notice na kami na ang compound ay nagkakautang ng hindi bababang 14 million po yata. So ilang milyong pagkakautang at nakapangalan po mismo kay Mayor Alice Guo ng Pandan, Bamban. So diyan na po kami nagsimulang maghukay nung nakita po namin ang dokumentong yan. Okay. At isa nga po sa produkto ng aming paghuhukay ay meron kaming nakitang isang sasakyan sa loob na nakapangalan sa isang nagngangalang Alice L. Guo na isang limited edition na Ford Expedition yata kung di ako nagkakamali. So ito pong may nakita rin po kami, ito naman po mga open cases, no? So maaring ito yung mga indikasyon ng hindi pagbabayad ng income tax return para sa ilang mga empleyado ng Hongsheng, ng Zunyuan at maging ng BAUKU Land Development Corporation. Ang mas mainam po makasagot po niyan ay ang Bureau of Internal Revenue. Next po. Ito po ang mukha ng big boss nung Zunyuan, si Wang Jiang. Siya po ay mayroong 3 pasaporte at ayon sa ating impormasyon na nanggaling sa Bureau of Immigration, hindi pa po nakakalabas ng Pilipinas si Wang Jiang. Siya po ay may passport ng Cyprus, may passport ng mainland China at may passport po ng St. Kitts. At siya po ay fugitive. Meron pong ibinigay na warrant of arrest sa Bureau of Immigration sa PAOK, ang People's Republic of China, para kay Mr. Wang Jiang. Initially po, sa pakikipagtulungan ng ating intelligence community, natukoy po natin kung nasaan po siya Yun nga lamang, napakahirap po niya talagang matuntun sapagkat ayon sa ating mga sources, siya po ay gumagamit ng helicopter sa pag-iikot para makatakas.